Hello there, I'm Will, this is Mike, we're the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
And we've got another episode of Warhammer 40k Conquest for you today. This one is issue 23, which, as you can see here, comes with some battlefield accessories. We'll talk about those in a second. As ever, if you want to skip straight ahead to battles, there's a timestamp in the description below. But having a look inside the magazine, some information about Space Marine chapter organisation. And here we have details about the different companies and the other parts of a Space Marine chapter that keep it running, like the apothecaries, the chaplains, the librarius, which has librarians in it, funnily enough. And then the different companies here, and then you can see all their company heraldic colours, which are laid down in the Codex Astartes, and each chapter, at least in theory, has those colours on their marines from different companies. Then we have more things about the demons of chaos, more information about different warp-spawned entities, and then more things about the different branches of the Imperium. I've had some of these before. This is more organisations within the Imperium that have different roles. More demons of chaos. We have stuff about these are demons of Nurgle now. So we've got stuff about the Nurglings, which are sort of little critters that run around and bite people's ankles. A little short story here, a little bit of fiction about the battle for Hive Acheron on the planet Armageddon.
Shadow War Armageddon artwork.
Yes, indeed. There was actually a box game based on this a few years back, and we've actually got a picture here of some Blood Angels Scout Marines against some Orcs, the actual Orc miniatures in the magazine. Here we've got the issue, the battlefield accessories. They come on the sprue like that, and then they're built, and there's ammo boxes and barrels and sort of tank traps. And then we also go into how to paint them. Barrels are red, the boxes are green, and the metal things are silver, funnily enough. And that's all fairly straightforward. And then we have our two missions for this issue, starting here with this bit of fiction, so we're going to go into that straight away.
Here's our first mission for this issue. The Death Guard are trying to perform some kind of unholy demonic ritual in the city, and the Silver Templars librarian has marshalled some forces to put a stop to it. So here you can see we've got the board. We have two deployment zones to choose from. Here you can see there are 5 objectives that we're going to place, starting with the Death Guard player. Once that's set up, the Spaceman player, so I get to choose which deployment zone I want, and I think I'm going to pick the one next to the ammo boxes somehow. And the Death Guard player gets the other one. The Death Guard player deploys first, then the Space Marines deploy second, and the Death Guard player gets to go first. So the only thing that matters here are objectives. So at the end of your opponent's turn, players collect any objectives that are in base contact with their units, but the unit must not be falling back or engaged in close combat. And the objective is removed, and the player with the most objective markers at the end of the game is the winner, and the game lasts for 5 battle rounds. And obviously, if you wipe out the opposing player, you win by default. So we'll do a brief overview of the armies, and then we'll cut to setting up the objectives. So here's our Space Marine army. We've got the Primaris Librarian leading, 5 Reavers, 5 Intercessors, and the return of the Inceptor. It's been a long time since we've seen him. So here's our Death Guard army. We've got the Barachias Putrefier, the Foul Blightspawn, 5 Plague Rains, and 12 Pox Augurs. So here you see we've got the board set up. We're going to start placing the objectives. So an objective has to be at least 6 inches away from a board edge, has to be at least 6 inches away from another objective, and it can't be in the deployment zone. So deployment zone A is this grey area up to the pavement, so it could be on the pavement, and deployment zone B is again this ruined area with the ruins and the craters, but not up to this pavement, and this grey line here. So the Death Guard player gets to place the first objective.
I'll stick it right in the middle.
Okay.
There we are. Perfect centre.
So there you can see I've placed my first objective just outside deployment zone A.
I put my next one here, and it's this kind of little chaos keep out symbol.
So there, after much measuring, I've put my second objective next, just on the other side of this pipe, as represented by a little weapons cache you might be able to see there. And you can see it's just about 6 inches away from these 2 objectives and the board edge, as you might be able to make out there. And there you can see the 5th objective, represented by a treasure chest. Do a brief overview. We've got objective here, another objective over here, another one in the middle, one over here by this ruin, and treasure chest out here in the open. So I now get to pick my deployment zone, and I'm going to pick deployment zone A. So that means William gets deployment zone B over there, and he also gets to deploy first.
For my deployment, we've got the Foul Blight spawn here at the front, ready to make a dash for the middle objective and hopefully fire his gun at some Space Marines. Poxwalker's here to support him a bit. And then going for these two objectives over here, we've got the Plague Marines and the Biologous Putrefier.
So I've finished my deployment. I've got the Librarian down here. Got some protection from the Reavers here, so we're going to pop around and charge out into the middle, hopefully. I decided to deploy the Inceptor just on the battlefield rather than keeping in reserve, because after the Death Guard have moved, he'll probably end up further away from the objectives than he would if he deployed normally. And he can move pretty fast, he's got 10-inch moves, so he should be able to get to that objective over there. And then I put the Intercessors on this flank with a bit of cover, just in case. But hopefully they can move up into the middle to get the benefit from that ammo crate there. But the Death Guard get to go first, so we'll head into Death Guard, turn 1.
We'll start with the Foul Blight spawn, I think, because he's the most important, so he's going to advance 3 inches. Put himself here, that's close enough, don't need to be any closer than that. And the Poxwalkers are going to advance as well. We'll get a decent roll, might be get them in front of him. 4, probably not. There we are, they've advanced up, and they're going to, so they're not quite, they haven't managed to get to this objective, but gives me another body on that one as well, so. The Biologous Putrefier will advance, he's going to try and get himself over there.
Take the treasure chest.
He has to roll 4 or more. Oh, he has, he's rolled a 5. That's enough to get him in base contact. And the Plague Marines, they're just actually going to move up, or move most of them round into cover, but put the champion next to the objective so he can. There we are, that's their movement. We'll start the shooting phase with the Foul Blight spawn. He was going to shoot the Reavers.
Yeah, definitely see them.
Yeah, but they'll all get cover at least.
Yeah.
So the strength of his weapon, 5.
Wounding on 3s.
Wounding on 3s.
Number of shots is the important one.
Oh, 6.
Oh dear.
6 hits, wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s. All with some 2s. So it's not going to kill them all. Yep, it's only 3 5 plus armour saves because you've got cover.
Come on, make some of these, please. Made one of them.
There's only 2 dead.
2 go down.
Not too bad.
So I'll take this guy and this guy.
And then the Plague Marines, the 3 with the champion and the 2 Blight Launchers will shoot the Reavers because they can see Sarge on the end, although he'll have cover. The 2 Bolt Guns can't see any Reavers, but they can see the Librarian, who is therefore the closest visible target. So they'll shoot him.
Okay.
We'll do the Bolt Guns first. So they're outside rapid fire range. I rolled a 3 and a 2 to hit, so we've got 1 hit on the Librarian, wounding on 4. Does
2 plus armour save for cover. Made it.
That's fine. Now we'll do the Plasma Gun. No, we won't. We'll do the Blight Launchers first. So we've got 4 shots hitting on 3s, 2 hits, wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s, only 1 wound, and a 4 plus armour save.
Make it. Yes. Phew.
Champion is in rapid fire range. He's not going to supercharge. He's doing 1 hit. It wounds on a 2. No, it doesn't. It wounds on a. It doesn't matter. It doesn't wound on a 1.
Wounded on a 3.
Wounded on a 3, but it didn't. No charges because I've advanced everybody.
Yeah, and the Plague Marines are too far away, so it's on to Space Marines turn 1. So the Space Marines have moved out. The Reavers have come around the ammo boxes to try and contest the middle with the Librarian backing them up. The Intercessors have moved from behind here to hold that objective, and the Inceptor has zoomed all the way over here. He is technically standing on the pipe, but it's a bit wobbly. I don't want him to fall off the flying stand. And then it's on to the Psychic phase. So first the Librarian is going to try and manifest Smite, and it will be on the Foul Blight spawn if it goes off, because he is the closest enemy unit. So he needs a 5. Didn't get it with a 4.
Still warming up.
Yeah, and then he'll try and do Might of Heroes on himself, which he got with an 8 at least. So I'll do the most important bit first. One of the Reavers is going to throw a shock grenade at the Foul Blight spawn, because...
Yeah, it's about the same, but it's fine.
So they're about the same distance. He just measured, but if it's the same distance, I still get to pick, so I will throw a shock grenade at him. And then the other 2 Reavers, probably closer to the Poxwalker.
I think they probably are, yeah.
So they'll shoot their bolt pistols at the Poxwalkers. D3 shots. 2. Hitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s. Whew.
It hits.
My hand was shaking with anxiety there. But it hits, so which means he cannot overwatch and gets multiple to hit in melee. 2 shots hitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s. 1 hit. Hitting on a 3. Doesn't wound. The Librarian will throw a crack grenade at the Foul Blight spawn. hitting on a 3, wounding on a 3, hit wounded.
4+ armor save. Yes.
And the intercessors will fire at the poxwalkers. So we've got 10 shots, hitting on 3s and re-rolling 1s because this front man is within 2 inches of an ammo crate. All those, so that's going to be 7 hits, wounding on 3s, 6 wounds.
Disgustingly resilient. 5 die. So we'll take these 5, I think.
And then the Inceptor is going to fire his assault bolters into the poxwalkers. So he's got 6 shots, hitting on 3s. Oh dear. Only 2 hits, wounding on 3s, 2 wounds.
1 more dies. This one.
And shooting over onto the charge phase. The Librarian will declare a charge on the Foul Blightspawn and the poxwalkers just in case. And he rolled a 10 for distance, so it's definitely going to be enough to get him in. So he'll get in like that. And the Reavers will also declare a charge against both the Foul Blightspawn and the poxwalkers. And they'll easily get in with a 7. Like that. So the Foul Blightspawn's very stinky, so I don't get the benefits for charging. So the Librarian will attack first. Put all his attacks on the Foul Blightspawn. He's got 4 attacks hitting on 3s. 3 hits. So sorry, he actually had 5 attacks. So he's got another one hitting on a 3. It hits, so that's 4 hits in total. Wounding on 4s because Might of Heroes. 2 wounds. 2 6+ armor saves. Right, that's the thing that happened. So you get to pick next.
I do. We'll pile in with the poxwalkers, I think, and swing at the Reavers.
12 attacks hitting on 5.
Pick them all up.
So that's what, 8 hits?
That's 8 hits somehow.
Wounding on
Wounding on 5s. 4 wounds.
4 3+ armor saves. Reaver goes down and the poxwalker comes back.
Yep, I'll put him over there.
Then the Reavers get to fight next. They'll put all of their attacks on the poxwalkers. So we've got 7 attacks hitting on 3s. 5 hits. Wounding on 3s. 3 wounds.
And 2 more go down. So we'll lose these 2.
And then the Foul Blightspawn gets to fight back as well.
He does. He will attack the Reavers as well, I think. So he's got 3 attacks hitting on 5s because he's -1 to hit. That's 2 hits, but that 6 doesn't generate a Death of the False Emperor because it's -1, so it's actually a 5. Wounding on 4s, 2 wounds.
2 armor saves, failed 1. And then at the end of my turn, the Death Guard capture this objective and the other objective.
But not this one because
It's contested.
Yeah.
So, at the end of Space Marine turn 1, on to Death Guard turn 2.
So the Poxwalkers are going to fall back over here. And then the Foul Blightspawn will fall back behind them-ish. To over there. So yeah, sorry, slight adjustment and keep the Poxwalkers in combat. Because I need them to be on that objective, otherwise it'd be bad. But the Biolog's Putrefier's moved up his 5 to get to there, but he's in grenade range of the Librarian.
Yep.
Plague Marines will move up 5 as well. And then onto the shooting phase. We'll start with the Biolog's Putrefier. He's going to throw a Hyper Blight Grenade at the Librarian.
Yep.
So he gets D6 shots, 6, hitting on 3s, 5 hits, wounding on 4s, 6 is called mortal wounds. So we've got 3 wounds and a mortal wound, so you need to make 4 armour saves, because it's a mortal wound in addition.
So 3+ armor saves, made them all.
So he just takes a mortal wound.
So he's down to 4.
And the Plague Marines, I'm actually going to put everything on the Inceptor.
Yep.
Because if I knock him off there, he won't take that objective. Oh no, actually, so one of the bolt guns will throw a Hyper Blight Grenade at the Librarian, actually, because they're within 3 inches of the Blightspawn, so you can give them one. We'll do that first.
Okay.
So 5 shots, hitting on 3s, 4 hits, wounding on 4s, 2 wounds, but no mortal wounds.
2 3+ armor saves.
Make 1.
Made them all.
Then everything else at the Inceptor will start with the light launchers.
Right.
2 hits, wounding on 4. No, 3s because his strength 6, so 2 wounds. He's in cover though. Well, he's obscured.
Yeah, his base is obscured.
So 4+.
4+ armor saves. Please make these. Made 1.
D3 damage.
Yeah,
Two,
Scepter goes down. Yeah, he wasn't technically in cover, but I rolled a 5 for my armor save anyway, so he still made it.
So he's fine, and I killed him. So. And in the charge phase, the Plague Marines will charge the Librarian.
Okay, he's not engaged, so he'll overwatch with a crack grenade. Oh, it hit.
Yeah.
Wounding on the 3. It wounded.
4 will save. Yeah. And their charge distance 9. And the Biologous Putrefier might as well have a go as well. 10. That's enough. We'll start with the Plague Marines in melee then. So pile in a bit. We'll actually bring the Reaver into contact. So the Power Fist will hit the Librarian. Well, it's all on the Librarian because I didn't declare the Reavers as a charge target. It's got one hit. It wounds on a 2. It does.
6 plus armor save. Nope.
3 damage. It's 3.
Down to 1 wound.
And the knives. Only one hit. Wounding on 4.
3 plus armor save. Made it.
Biologous Putrefier pile in. He's got 3 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 3s. 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. 1 wound.
3 plus armor save. Nope. Librarian goes down.
And then it's my turn to pick. So I'll pick the Poxwalkers, obviously.
Yep.
Hitting on 5, so that's only 3. Wounding on 5s. 2.
3 plus armor saves. Made both. So the Reavers get to strike back. They'll fight the Poxwalkers. They have 7 attacks hitting on 3s. 4 hits. Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds. And at that point, I'm just going to concede because I'm going to lose now.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be able to take that objective back.
No, so you take that one, but... Well, it's your turn, but yeah, as you say, like you can get to that one, but then I'll probably have someone to charge you.
Yeah, you'll just flame them.
And this guy can attack them, so...
Death Guard victory.
Yeah.
So that was the first mission for this issue. We'll head into the second one now, recap at the end. So here's our second mission for this issue, behind enemy lines. So you can see the Death Guard have captured an entire sector of the city and the Silver Templars are trying to secure areas within this location. So you can see here the Death Guard deployment zone occupies this entire half of the board. Meanwhile the Space Marines have to move on to the board in their first turn. We can see there's an objective, one right in the middle of the map and one at the back of the Death Guard deployment zone. And I also get to place another one. That must be in the Death Guard deployment zone and must be at least 6 inches away from any of the other objectives. First, the Death Guard player deploys anywhere in their big deployment zone. Then I place my third objective. Then I don't deploy, but I move my force into play on the first turn and I get the first turn as well. And it isn't very clear, but we're going to assume that it's just a normal movement phase, so if I want to advance I can do so. So the player who holds the most objectives at the end of the game is the winner. And if you hold an objective, you have more models within 3 inches of it than the enemy. And the game lasts for 5 battle rounds. Although lately they don't seem to last that long, usually last about 2 turns. So we'll do the army overviews and then get into the Death Guard deployment. And here's our Space Marine army. This time we have Lieutenant Cassius in the lead, with 5 Reavers, 5 Intercessors, 2 Hellblasters, 3 Aggressors, and the Inceptor. And here's our Death Guard army. We've got the Tainted Cohort, Lord Felthius, 5 Plague Marines, and 12 Poxwalkers.
They're my deployment. I put the Poxwalkers out front here as a screen, and the Plague Marines are here behind the cover. And then in the Teleportarium we have Lord Felthius and the Tainted Cohort to arrive later in the game.
Right, so now I get to place the third objective. So there you can see I've put my third objective just behind those tank traps at the far end of the board. So I get to go first. So we're on to Space Marines turn 1. So first the aggressors are going to move on and they're going to advance. 3. So there the aggressors have come on the board. The Reavers will also come on the board and advance. They go 4, so they can go 10 inches. So there they are, they've moved on. Cassius will come next and he'll advance. 5, so 11 inches, but that's going to be enough to get him behind the Reavers. Then the Hellblasters will come on and they won't advance. 6 inches gets them there. And finally the Intercessors will come on. So I'll deploy them in a line like that. And then the Inceptor gets to come on over here. So that's my movement for my first turn on to the shooting phase. So first things first, the Hellblasters can see the Plague Marines, so they'll take some shots at them. Got 2 shots heading on 3s, 2 hits. Moving on 3s, you're rolling 1s. No wounds. The Intercessors will also take some shots at the Plague Marines. So we've got 5 shots hitting on 3s, 4 hits. Wounding on 5s, re-rolling 1s I think, because they're within 6 inches of Clausius. There's 1 wound.
3 plus armor save because I'm in cover. I've made it.
So the Inceptor is not quite in range of the Plague Marines, so he'll shoot at the Poxwalkers instead. He's got 6 shots hitting on 3s. So he got 2 hits again. Wounding on 3s, 2 wounds.
I've made 1 disgustingly resilient.
Yep.
So we'll lose 1 out of the middle.
That's the end of my turn. I'm not going to declare any charges, so on to Death Guard, turn 1.
The Poxwalkers are going to move up to their 4 inches, like this. So that gets them to there. And the Plague Marines aren't going to move, they're going to stay where they are. Now at the end of my movement phase, the Tainted Cohort have arrived over here. I can bring them down on turn 1 because this isn't match play, of course. And Lord Felthius has teleported down over here. They're quite a long way away, I'm not planning to make a charge yet with them, just adding to my fire support. So in the shooting phase, we will start with the Tainted Cohort. They are going to shoot at Reavers, I think. So they're going to have 8 shots with our combi bolters. That's 6 hits. 4s, 4 wounds. Got cover, so 2 plus save.
2 plus armor saves. Made all of them. The Plague Sprayer, whatever it is out of range.
And then the Plague Marines are going to shoot at the aggressors.
Yep.
We're outside of rapid fire range, but we'll start with the Blight Launchers. They've got 4 shots. The Blight Launchers, we've got 3 hits, wounding on 3s, 3 wounds, got cover, so
4 plus armor saves. Made 1.
D3 damage, 2, and D3 damage, 1. So
The aggressor goes down, the other guy takes a wound.
we've got the Plasma Gun from the Champion. It hits, it was on a 3, not overcharging, it does wound, so you're a 5
5 plus. Didn't make it.
And finally the 2 bolt guns, 1 shot each, 1 hit. Didn't wound. But that's it for shooting. We will declare a charge with the Poxwalkers on the Inceptor.
So he'll overwatch with his Assault Bolters. So that's 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. Yeah, 1 wound.
Yep, 4. 5 is not enough, so they stay where they are.
So on to Space Marines turn 2. So the Inceptor has moved up just a little bit, so he's now within range of this ammo box. The Intercessors have moved up to do the same. This Aggressor Sergeant is going to advance 1 inch, so he can get just behind an Intercessor, which just gets him in range of this Poxwalker. And the Reavers are also going to advance 6, so they get to go 12. So they've come down here. Clausius will also advance 3. So yeah, he'll come round to about there. And the 2 Hellblasters will just move up behind this pipe. And movement over onto the shooting phase. So starting off, we'll start with the Aggressor, because he might not be in range after any more shooting. So he'll shoot at the Poxwalkers. We've got 2d6 shots, or 2d6 hits rather. 7. Wounding on 3s, you're rolling 1s. 7 wounds.
Made 4 of them, so 3 Poxwalkers go down. Take these ones off the back.
The Inceptor will fire his Assault Bolters at the Plague Marines. So he's got 6 shots. Re-rolling 1s. Got 4 hits this time at least. Wounding on 4s. 3 wounds.
-1 plus 1 AP cover. Failed 2 armor saves. And 2 disgustingly resilient. So we're going to lose the bolt guns, funnily enough.
Then the 2 Hellblasters will fire at the Plague Marines as well. So we've got 2 shots hitting on 3s. 1 hit. Wounding on 3s, you're rolling 1s. -4 AP.
So 6. Yes.
And then the Intercessors will just rapid fire into the Poxwalkers. 10 shots, hitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s. You roll the 2 1s. 8 hits. Wounding on 3s, you're rolling 1s. 7 wounds again.
We've made 3, so another 4 go down. Those ones.
And I'm not going to declare any charges. So we're on to Death Guard, turn 2.
And for my movement, the Tainted Cohort have moved up 4, so they're now controlling this objective. Lord Felthius has moved up his 4 as well. Poxwalkers have moved up their 4. And Plague Marines will just spread out slightly, the remaining ones. The Plague Marines will fire at... I think I'm going to go for the Inceptor. He's speedy and he can zoom around. So we'll start with the Blight Launchers. They've only got 2 hits. They wound on 3s.
One wound.
1 wound. You're in cover, so you get a 4+ save.
Cover, so 4+.
Nope.
Oh, get that in the box, please. No.
D3 damage. Only 1.
Oh, he lives on 1 wound.
And then the Plasma Gun. Yeah, we are just about in rapid fire range now. Only got 1 hit, not overcharging. By the way, didn't wound, so he lives. They are going to shoot. Actually, we're going to shoot the Plague Spewer at the Intercessors because they're in range, and the 2 Bolters are going to go on the Hellblasters.
Yep.
We'll start with the Plague Spewer first on the Intercessors. D6 automatic hits, 6.
Wounding on 3s.
5 wounds, -1 armor save.
So 4+ armor saves.
This is such an obvious mistake that I thought I should just put a little voiceover in to explain what happened. What you don't see on camera is that Michael didn't have enough dice in his hand, and I gave him some more, but not enough, but then we both for some reason thought that it was only 4 wounds rather than 5. Fortunately, it's not going to make any difference to the outcome of the game, as you'll see in just a moment.
Made 2. Yeah, I'll take away this guy at the end.
And then the Combi Bolters on the Hellblasters.
Oh, blimey.
That's not too bad.
5
hits. 4s. 2 wounds, and you've got cover.
2+ armor saves. Made both.
Onto the charge phase. The Poxwalkers will charge the Inceptor.
He'll overwatch with his Assault Bolters, hitting on 6s. He wounded.
And it kills Poxwalker.
I think he's killed 2 Poxwalkers now.
Then their charge distance. 7 is enough.
That's going to be enough.
And Lord Felthius will charge the Intercessors, but only the Intercessors.
Yeah, I'll just use bolt rifles. 8 shots, hitting on 6s. 2 hits. Wounding on 5s, you're rolling 1s. 1 wound. 3+ armor save.
No.
Ooh.
Disgustingly resilient. No.
Ooh. Down to 5 wounds.
And then his charge. Ooh, 5.
I think that's just enough.
Yeah, because they're just within 6. So that gets him to about there. So in the fight phase. No, he's not going to pile in, he's going to stay where he is.
Yep.
He has 4 attacks, hitting on 2s. 2 6s, so 2 extra attacks. 1 of which is hit. Wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s. So 4 wounds.
4 6+ armor saves. Made 1. D3 damage.
First one, 2.
So that's 1 dead intercessor.
Second one,
2 dead
2.
intercessors.
3 dead intercessors.
Yeah,
I might not do that.
Take the 2 regular intercessors away.
He will. No, he's not going to consolidate. He's going to stay where he is.
Okay.
And then the 3 Poxwalkers.
Oh yeah, forgot about them.
Well, they're basically inconsequential. They've got that many attacks. They've got 3 hits out of it.
Yeah, you've been really rolling
But they
really
need to
well.
roll that again. Only 1 wound.
3+ armor save. Come on, you overcosted piece of junk. Of course he died.
And then he's going to come back as a Poxwalker.
Mm-hmm.
And they will consolidate slightly, but mainly to tuck in a bit.
Yep. Intercessor Sergeant has 3 attacks on Lord Felthius, hitting on 3s. They all hit. Wounding on 5s, you're rolling 1s. Rerolling the 1. That 1 wound.
2+ armor save. Yes.
So that's the end of Death Guard, turn 2. On to Space Marines, turn 3. So you can see we've shuffled around a bit. The Intercessor Sergeant has fallen back down to this ammo box. The 2 Hellblasters have come across to within 2 inches of this crate. The aggressor has shoved around a bit. Cassius have moved in behind everyone, and the Reavers have moved around to see these Poxwalkers. Moving over onto the shooting phase, we'll start with the Reavers. One of them will throw a frag grenade, and the others will fire their bolt pistols all at the Poxwalkers. So, frag grenade, d6 shots, 5. Hitting on 3s, reroll, not within range, so hitting on 3s. 4 hits. Wounding on 4s, rerolling 1s. 4 wounds. 1 dead Poxwalker. And then we have 4 pistol shots hitting on 3s. Wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s. Got there eventually, 3 wounds. Another dead Poxwalker.
Another dead Poxwalker.
Cassius will throw a frag grenade at them. Hitting on 1 hit, potentially. It hit. Rerolling the 1. It wounded.
Nope. 1 left.
And then the Intercessor Sergeant will also throw a frag grenade at the Boxwalker. 6 potential hits. Hitting on 4s because he got -1 for falling back.
Rerolling 1s.
Yeah, luckily you can reroll 1s. 2 hits. We're already on 4s, rerolling 1s. No wounds. Well, everyone else is closer to Lord Felthius, so we'll shoot at them. So we'll start with the Aggressor Sergeant. He's got 2d6 shots. 10 hits. Wounding on 5s, rerolling 1s. That's 4 wounds. 2+ armor saves.
Failed 1. Disgustingly resilient. Nope.
Down to 4. And then the Hellblasters are going to overcharge and shoot at Lord Felthius. So the first one, hitting on 2 shots, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. That's 2 hits. And the second one, rolling the 1. It also gets 2 hits. Wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s. Rolling the 1. So that's 2 wounds.
2 4+ invulnerable saves, made 1, so that's 2 potential damage, which I haven't ignored, so he's down to 2.
And that's it for shooting. On to charging. The Aggressor Sergeant will declare a charge on Lord Felthius.
Well, he's in, but depends if you want to roll.
Yeah, he's in. 5. He's going to be brave. And then the Reavers will declare a charge on the Poxwalker.
They're also in.
Yep, they're definitely in with a 6, so it's going to surround it. So I'll do the Reavers first, just to get them out of the way. 16 attacks, hitting on 3s. That's 10 hits. Wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s. 9 wounds.
Can I make this many 5-ups? No. Funnily enough, outstayed their welcome.
And then the Aggressor Sergeant has got to do something special here. He's got 3 attacks, hitting on 4s. 2 hits. Wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s. 2 wounds.
No 2s. 4+ invulnerable saves, made 1.
D3 damage. Big roll. 2. Down to 1.
Down to 1, and he gets to strike back. 4 attacks hitting on 2s. 3 hits, no 6s. 3 wounds.
3 6+ armor saves. No, it's dead.
And then he will consolidate into the aggressors. No, sorry.
Hellblasters.
He will consolidate into the Hellblasters, so you do actually get to strike him. If you want.
Yep, 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. They all hit. Wounding on 5s, you're rolling 1s.
Ooh. I'm re-rolling 1s.
2 wounds.
I hope I'm not going to regret this. Oh no!
No! Please, please, please! Yes!
Oh, what has happened?
Yes! You did well, Sarge. You redeemed yourself.
Yeah, so the sergeant steamed into him, did a wound, and then Lord Felth is arrogant, he consolidates in, the Hellblasters are like, no, biff! Yeah. And smack you in the face. Well, that was, they can consolidate if you want.
Yeah, they can consolidate.
Yeah, 3.
So they'll move this way a bit.
Yeah.
I might be able to get a draw out of this, but I'm going to count that as a moral victory. So we'll head into Death Guard turn 3.
4 inches for these guys. So I'm abandoning that objective, but I'm hoping I can do enough damage that it's not going to make any difference. Plague Marines will stay where they are. On to shooting.
Yep.
All of the Tainted Cohort into the Hellblasters.
Yep.
D6 automatic hits with the Plague Spewer. 6.
Oh, rolled well for that.
I literally haven't rolled less than a 5.
Yeah.
And all the thing in the
3. On 3s, you're rolling 1s.
4 wounds, it's -1.
4+. Come on, heroes of the chapter. Made 2, so one of them will go down.
You want to take the closer one so my charge is longer.
Oh yeah, that's a better plan.
All combi bolters, 8 shots.
You always roll 6s.
I will roll 6 hits. I'm very average. Well, no, it's not.
They're very average.
Very average. That's less average, although that makes up for all the 2s and 1s they rolled in previously. So yeah.
3+ armor saves. No, 30, so the last Hellblaster goes down.
Yeah. Oh well, it's a really long charge now. And then these chaps will shoot at the Reavers.
Yep.
We will start with the Blight Launchers as usual. 4 shots. We've got 3 hits. We're wounding on 3s. That's 2 wounds, but a reroll. Sorry, it's 1 wound with a reroll, so we've got 2 wounds. 4+ cover.
4+ armor saves. Oh, come on.
D3, 3, and 3. So
2 dead Reavers. Take 2 off the back.
And the plasma gun not supercharging. 2 hits. Wounding all 3s. 2 wounds. 5+.
I can make those.
Yeah. And then they're going to charge Sarge and Cassius, I suppose, because otherwise he'll.
Sarge will overwatch with his bolt rifle. You got a hit. Wounding on 5s, you're rolling 1s. Didn't wound. Cassius will overwatch with his bolt pistol. It hit. Didn't wound.
And then their charge distance, 4. No, they're not going anywhere.
Not good enough. So, end of Death Guard turn 3, on to Space Marines turn 4. So, Space Marines have all moved up. I mean, we technically contest this objective. I suppose if we if we can kill them with shooting and then survive, maybe we'll pull out a draw. But, so, moving over onto the shooting phase. We'll start with the 3 Reavers. So we've got 3 pistol shots at the Plague Marines, hitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s. 1 hit. Hitting on 5s, you're rolling 1s. Ooh, wounded.
I'm in cover, so 3+. Yeah.
Sergeant with the Intercessors will fire his bolt rifle at them as well. 2 hits.
Rerolling 1.
Yep, no wounds. And Countess will fire. He'll throw a crack grenade at the tainted
He's not
cohort.
in range of them, so.
He'll throw a crack grenade at the tainted cohort. Rerolling 1s.
Yeah.
Hit. Wounds on a 3. Get wounded.
3+, because -1. Yes.
So, in the charge phase, the Reavers will declare a charge at the Plague Marines. It's a very long charge, but whatever.
Alright, well, we've got 4 shots from the Blight launchers. They haven't hit anything, and then the plasma gun not supercharging. No, that's also missed.
9 inches to get in. Oh, they got in. And the other 2 are behind him, effectively.
Yeah.
The Intercessor Sergeant will also declare a charge.
Yeah,
it's going to be a 12 or something.
Yeah, because you're going to get on with barrels.
Nah, it's not going to be enough. No, not with a 4. And Calcius, we might as well charge because they'll just shoot him anyway.
So the Plague Spear, D6 hits. 6.
Oh. 6 wounds, 4 pluses. He goes down to 1. And then the heavy.
Combi bolters. I've got a hit. Which wounds?
And he failed, so he just dies.
Oh.
So the Reavers get to fight. They get to pile in. 10 attacks hitting on 3s. 9 hits. Wounding on 5s. Just need to roll average. 3 wounds.
Failed 2 armor saves. Disgustingly resilient. 2 ones, a double 1 twice.
2 Plague Marines go
so
down.
look, the 2 Blight launchers are going to go down.
So we'll pile in around.
But he is more than 3 inches from the objective, so
Yeah.
he's got to get through all of them now.
So, but the champion gets to fight back.
He has 2 attacks hitting on 4s. And he's only got 1 hit, and it wounds on a 2. It does wound.
6+ armor save. Nope.
D3 damage. 2.
So her Reaver goes down. Then it's on to Death Guard turn 4.
The champion is going to fall back onto the objective. Tainted cohort moved there.
Yep.
In the shooting phase, they are going to shoot everything at the Reavers. The Plague Spear is in range.
Yep.
D6 hits. Only 2.
Wow.
Wounding on 3s. And rerolling 1s because it's a plague weapon. It's 2 wounds.
2.
You're in cover, so 3+.
3+ armor saves. Made them both.
And all the combi bolters. Not bad.
7 hits.
It's wounding on 4s.
4 wounds.
4 wounds in cover.
4 2+ armor saves. Normal Reaver goes down to Sarge.
And then they will declare a charge on the Intercessor Sergeant.
He'll overwatch with a crack grenade. He missed.
They're in. They'll go first. We'll start with the axe. 2 attacks hit. Winning on 3s, rerolling 1s. That's a -4 and that's a minus. No, that's -3 and that's -2.
6+ armor save.
Oh.
Made it. 5+ armor save. Nope. So Sarge goes down to 1 wound.
The sword gets 2 hits and 2 1s, but rerolling because it's a plague weapon. Only 1 wound.
6+ armor save. No.
Then we'll consolidate a bit, but.
So that's the end of Death Guard turn 4 onto Space Marines turn 5. Sarge will move an inch away. Sarge will throw a shock grenade at you. 1 potential shot. Hits on a 3. It missed. Then he'll try and charge you.
So Overwatch plasma gun. Nope.
Not overcharging.
No, not overcharging.
Look, he's in.
Yeah.
It's 4 attacks. Hitting on 3s. 3 hits. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound.
Can he do it?
No.
And then Champ, 2 attacks, 1 hit, wounding on that.
6+. Nope.
1 damage, he's alive!
Sarge goes down to 1 wound. On to Death Guard turn 5.
Yeah. So, state of play is, I control this objective, and this one's contested, so at the moment, it's Death Guard victory. Technically, if I fall back and just don't do anything, you can't win, but I think that would be boring and a bit of a rubbish end to this game. So we are going to Stay in melee.
Okay. So 2 attacks hitting on 4.
2 attacks hitting on 4s. They both hit though. And 1 is wounded, so
6 plus. No, dead.
and he's dead. So champ did take him out.
Victory for the Death Guard again. So we'll recap both of those, just so you know. So those were the missions for issue 23 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest. How did you think those went?
I think it's safe to say I rolled ludicrously well most of that game, both of those games.
Yeah, particularly for the Plague Spitter or the Plague Spear Sprayer, whatever it is for the...
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because actually you could say, well, actually let's not talk about double sixes for armor save yet, but in terms of consistency, that Plague Sprayer was not bad, especially that time when it basically killed Calcius in Overwatch.
Yeah, I mean, it is dangerous to overcharge those sort of weapons, but 5 wounds...
You wouldn't expect that. You might, 2...
I mean, you probably would have died in the combat anyway, but...
There was that, and there was the Disgusting Resilient. I think I rolled a lot of those.
Especially for the Poxwalkers.
Yeah. I mean, the second game was actually still pretty close. Well, maybe not, but it felt closer maybe than it was. Killing Lord Felthius with those 2 Hellblasters, so I consolidated into them. I mean, it was unlikely.
I call that a moral victory overall, but I mean, it probably wouldn't have happened, and you probably would have just mowed them down next turn anyway, so...
You're probably right, but I mean, the reason I consolidated into them is because I wanted his Mortal Wound aura to go off, basically, and also to give them -1 to hit for shooting, so that then you wouldn't want to overcharge. So it was a calculated risk. Just occasionally those risks don't pay off, but there you go. And rolling a double 6 for that armor save in the first game against the Librarian.
Probably would have made damage difference in the long run, but it would have been...
It was annoying at the time, I'm sure. Yeah, well, because the funny thing was, he played no further part in the game. If the Librarian had actually killed him, which would have been probably more statistical, or perhaps most likely he would have done maybe 2 or 3 wounds to him, once resilience and everything had been taken into account. After that, he fell back and didn't do anything for the rest of the game, because my subsequent shooting phase, even without him, was enough to get rid of most of the rest of your units. I think your inability to kill Poxwalkers was actually your downfall in that first game.
Not consolidate onto the objective.
The kind of unsung heroes in a way for me in the second game as well, because it took you so long to get rid of them.
Yeah.
They absorbed so much of your firepower because I kept rolling my resilience saves for them. The resilience saves I made on the Poxwalkers I didn't make on the Plague Marines. I mean, I definitely rolled double 1 twice in a row on those, but distribution of luck played a part, because I remember watching and you, on 2 dice, you rolled a double 6 at least 3 times over the course of those 2 missions.
But at times when it didn't matter.
At times when it was irrelevant.
Didn't need those
like,
sixes.
you're shooting 2 guys and you roll 2 6s to hit, well, that doesn't make any difference because you only needed 3s.
Yeah.
Whereas I rolled a double 6 probably once or maybe twice, and it was at critical moments. It's just the way it goes. Fortunately, you kind of had 2 episodes in a row where that's been your lot, really.
It's because we've changed location. We're filming in a different location, that's definitely it.
Yeah.
The room's feng shui is all wrong. My dice rolls.
No.
And the Interceptor was pretty much useless in both games. It probably would have been better in the second game to actually deploy him from reserve to limit the amount of space you could deploy him. Try and push your Terminators into a corner and then just run away from them. But
yeah, and I also did actually expect you to bring him down at some point and use him to zoom around and maybe contest an objective.
But it's just one of him, and he's not very good in melee, and he's not particularly good at shooting either, apparently. So
no, not too long till he gets a friend. Mind you, we're not going to see him again until then anyway. So
pretty much.
he turns up occasionally, and
but especially, I mean, he, in theory, he's useful in the first game, but the Death Guard get to go first, so you can basically get on to 3 of the objectives. And Interceptor on his own isn't going to be enough to take out a character or the Plague Marines. So.
Yeah, and I think it's in that game you're described as being the attacker, so why the Death Guard gets to go first, I don't know.
And the Defender gets to go first, apparently.
I can get onto 3 objectives quite easily enough, as I did, and then you basically had to charge everyone into the middle in order to prevent me from just winning the game instantly on the end of your second turn. The end of your first turn.
Yeah.
I suppose you could say, well, it might have been the other way around if the Space Marines went first, but I just think that the Death Guard's first turn strike capability with that Plague Sprayer or whatever it is on the Foul Blight spawn. Mind you, having said that, he only killed 2 Reavers in his 1 shot that he took in that game, so he wasn't as effective as he has been in the past.
But I don't think there's any much more to be said about those missions. So if you like this content, please leave a like and subscribe, and leave any comments about what you would have done differently. We've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.